2. The UN Human Rights Council, UNICEF, the Secretary-General of the UN, Antonio Guterres, the UN General Assembly, United Nations Security Council, UNSC, European Union, EU, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, and the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, US. We, the undersigned, urgently bring forth this petition to draw your attention to the dire situation unfolding in Ukraine due to Russia's aggression. The international community must unite to condemn these actions and hold those responsible accountable for their grave crimes against humanity. Beyond addressing the immediate crisis in Ukraine, we implore global leaders to recognize the urgent need for accountability and an end to Putin's unlawful and criminal dictatorship in Russia. The oppression of his people, international war crimes, crimes against humanity, and other egregious offenses listed below demand immediate attention and decisive action. Together, we seek justice, an end to the suffering of innocent civilians, and the restoration of fundamental human rights. Your support in addressing these urgent matters is paramount to fostering a world that values peace, justice, and the well-being of all its inhabitants. Demands. 1. We urge NATO to investigate alleged war crimes, crimes against humanity, and violations of international law thoroughly. This should include collecting credible evidence, determining jurisdiction, and seeking authorization from the UNSC. If granted, the case should be referred to the ICC for prosecution. We also encourage national prosecutions where possible, and collaboration among willing states to address these allegations. Engaging with legal bodies, human rights organizations, and experts is vital for a transparent and effective investigation. Your support is essential for seeking justice and upholding international law. 2. Increase sanctions and support for Ukraine. We urge the UN, US, EU, Group of 7, G7, Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, OSCE, to escalate economic sanctions against Russia to apply significant pressure on those responsible for the aggression. Additionally, we call for increased financial assistance and military support to Ukraine in their efforts to defend their sovereignty and protect their citizens. 2. Build international consensus. The UN Human Rights Council, UNICEF, the Secretary-General of the UN, Antonio Guterres, the UN General Assembly, United Nations Security Council, UNSC, European Union, EU, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, and the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, OSCE, should actively engage with key nations to build a unified international front against Russia's actions. Collaboration is crucial to demonstrate collective disapproval and to work towards a peaceful resolution to the conflict. 3. Freeze Russia's assets. We request that United Nations Security Council, UNSC, European Union, EU, United States Department of the Treasury, Financial Action Task Force, FATF, International Monetary Fund, IMF, and World Bank, and other various financial institutions actively support and seek authorization from the United Nations Security Council, UNSC, to freeze Russia's assets. This measure is vital to cripple the financial resources that enable further aggression. 4. ICC jurisdiction and prosecution. We call upon NATO to advocate within the UNSC for a referral to the International Criminal Court, ICC, to investigate and prosecute President Vladimir Putin for charges including genocide, crimes against humanity, war crimes, and the crime of aggression. 5. Impeachment process under Russian law. The Russian State Duma, the Supreme Court of the Russian Federation, the Constitutional Court of the Russian Federation are urged to explore diplomatic avenues to ensure accountability for President Putin's actions. Pursuant to Article 93 of the Russian Constitution and Federal Law 353, we request consideration of impeachment proceedings based on charges of high treason and other grave crimes. Grave crimes committed by Putin included but not limited to homicide, murder, manslaughter, aggravated assault, subversion of the constitutional order, racketeering, large-scale embezzlement, corruption and bribery at high levels. We, the undersigned, believe that immediate and decisive action is necessary to address the ongoing crisis. Our collective voices call for justice, accountability, and a commitment to upholding international law. Thank you for your attention to this matter. We trust that the aforementioned organizations will take a leading role in promoting peace, justice, and the protection of human rights on the global stage.